Welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna,
I'm Jocelyn.
and today we are talking about tie-dye. We are talking about hooking with tie-dye. It's always so interesting with rug hooking or punch needle if you're punching with strips. It's always so interesting to think, how does it hook or how does it punch? What does it look like? Now, lately I've been doing a lot of dyeing with tie-dye, like tie-dye dyeing on wool for hooking. Do you want to show an example of what that looks like?
Something like this.
Yeah, something like this. We can even unfold it because it's you hold that side. It's a giant piece of tie dye. It is beautiful. It's a long quarter of wool tie dye. It's door wool that I tie dye. This is a technique I'm doing in my classes lately, and I'm going to be doing a lot of it in general. So the question is, what could you use this for, and how does it hook? That is the question. I'm going to show you the answer. I'm going to cut this into strips, and I'm going to show you how it hooks. Here, you hold this, my little prop manager. I have this design that I've been dying to do because it is July and we are feeling summery, but it's almost time to start thinking about Halloween and the holidays in terms of projects. And I want to work on my design that I have never done. It sold like crazy last year. It's called, I think it's called I'm Always Thinking About Halloween. So that's appropriate, right? I'm going to hook the background of this with this material because there's a big wide open background and it's the perfect opportunity to hook something busy into the background because I know in the foreground I can handle this in a very graphic way with lines. Let's see how it hooks. So we just cut the strips from being this to being number 8. So you want to show us the strips? Put them right up into the camera. How gorgeous are these strips?
Pretty.
Aren't they gorgeous?
Like these are gonna be the best color change.
They might be the best color changing ones ever, but the question is, how do they hook? So let's bring you down here and find out. So here's my guy, here's my girl, and we haven't done this yet, right, Joss? This is just, we're trying it for the first time too. I got one of my pieces here. I'm just gonna go all willy-nilly for the time being because I'm gonna hook a lot. Of course, I got my tail up for beginners, right? You wanna get your tail up so you don't accidentally pull it down later. And Jess, you know what I'm realizing? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move it further away from the motif because I think I'm gonna outline the motif in black.
Every strip looks kind of different.
Look at that.
Wow.
I wonder if you can see that. Let me see if I can bring you even closer.
Because this tripod's almost broken, but
Yeah,
hopefully.
everything we have is almost broken. But mustn't complain, right? Look at that. Every one I pull up hooks a little different. Every one is a different color, isn't it?
That is beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to do a little bit more, and I think I'm going to move it away from the thing so I can outline it, right? And so when I come back in a minute, I'm going to show you even better how does it hook. So I have been doing just a little bit of hooking, and this stuff is beautiful. Hooking with tie-dye is fun. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous, honey?
Yes.
Check this out. This is the way that this looks, right? Super unexpected / expected, depends on what you were expecting. But all of these beautiful colors turn into these beautiful strips, right, which are just delicious to touch and use. In the meantime, Jocelyn made me this gorgeous bracelet with a little bit of Halloween bling. So I'm real proud to be wearing that too. Let me bring you closer to this door wool that's been tie-dyed and closer to this. That same exact piece that's been hooked. And I think it's gorgeous. And you know what else? I'm just going to put it out there. If you're like us and you like to tie-dye your clothes, and you tie-dye a lot of clothes, or someone tie-dyes for them for you, maybe you go to the thrift stores and you collect little she's holding my hand. You collect little tie-dyes and have disastrous things with them like I do, cutting them off and then giving yourself Fall River armpits and stuff, and you end up not being able to use the thing. Or if you're just doctoring them up successfully and you have lots of extra bits and bobs of tie-dye t-shirts, tie-dye t-shirts, can you hook with these too? Does it have to be wool? Absolutely not. You can hook with scraps of tie-dye t-shirts too. Let me show you what that looks like. I'll do that right here. I just have these cut into strips. I tried to make bows on that yellow thing that I hacked up to try to save it, and it was beyond saving. But look what I ended up with. These strips that I just cut real thick, could have cut them thinner, could have cut them thicker, just cut them like this. Little tie-dye strips that came straight from a t-shirt. I can form my loops a little bit better later, but I'm going for speed right now. And you see, this is actually the back of the shirt that we're looking at right now, but you see how lovely these hooks come up, these loops come up too. Man, that provolone cheese made me talk funny, didn't it?
Yeah.
Really looks pretty, doesn't it?
It looks so fluffy.
Well, it is that there's quite a bit of height and body.
It's kind of rough, but it looks so fluffy.
It is. You know, when you hook with jersey, it's a different game. And why shouldn't you? You can absolutely hook with jersey. Everybody does it. All the cool kids are doing it, right? But anyway, that's what that looks like. I did it in reverse, but it's basically what it looks like. Hooking with tie-dye t-shirts. You can hook with this stuff, or you can hook with this stuff. But whatever you choose, hooking with tie-dye does give you lots of color variation, lots of interest. Now, I wouldn't be choosing this kind of noodle in the background, this kind of busy piece to cut up and hook with if I had a very busy motif going in the foreground, right? Background, open background is great for these long shots of tie-dye stuff. But you can see that in this case, I have outlined my motif with one of my favorite yarns, Briggs & Little 3-ply from the Maritime family in Maine. Write to Lacey and get this either 2-ply or 3-ply, Briggs & Little. This is 3 in the color called Purple Pop by Dharma Trading. Absolutely beautiful color, and it worked well for outlining. So I will continue in this vein, and I am very happy with the way it hooked. What do you think about the way it hooked, Jess?
I think it looks awesome.
You think it looks awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Does it kind of look like us with our crazy tie-dyes?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be doing more.
Is this one that I tie-dyed myself?
Yeah, that's when you tie-dyed yourself. We're going to be doing more of this in the future, right? More stuff with tie-dye because every piece is colorful and unique, and we just love the way that this came out. Give it a shot. Always nice to see how different materials like tie-dyes, plaids, tweeds, anything printed, how it hooks. How does it hook? Paisleys, all of that. We'll be doing more videos like this in the future. Until then, have a great day, everybody. Bye from Ribbon Candy Hooking.
Bye.